Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Today, hi YouTube. YouTube, you making sure I get that coverage. That's what I like to see, YouTube. I was just talking about how the live video is alive. That's why they call it live. That's crazy, ain't it? Right. So let's get started. I'm about to do my work. Big shout out to the live button who makes it possible for me to do my shows. It has to think every time. Sometimes it's a delay. The X AI live button just comes right on. Don't even delay. If you go live on X, it's like you hit the live button, you're live. Not a 1 second delay, nothing. You're just strictly live. I like that. I had to get used to that. But each and every one of them have like 6 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, but there's still a delay. But it's alive. It's alive. Let's see. Give me a second, you guys. So that's UMGC. What else I need to open? Google. Oh, I went on Google Meet. I don't want to be on Google Meet, but I'll try it out later. That's what I'm gonna do my interviews on. What is it called again? Google Chat. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we got that up and this up, and now I open Word document. Dang, so what is this alive character, man? I know it's not just AI. I am so curious. I'm very, very, very curious because I wasn't even telling my audience this prior, but just think about it. This invisible force field that makes you live, all by machines. I love machines, but all by machines. And it makes you, this invisible force field makes you go live and be able to talk amongst thousands of people. It's not like we connect by a bunch of lines like it used to be. Remember that? And then it graduated 5G. I'm gonna be an old lady by the time it gets 10G. I could be wrong because whatever I say, the government like, let's change the future. I told Don Newsom I would be 15 minutes sending his footage. The other one went through perfectly, but his took a day, like 18, 19, 20 hours, almost a day. I was like, wow. So I may have humor, but I'm being honest. Okay, so this is, I may have to excuse myself for a second. This is some alien type stuff because I was doing fine. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Okay. Um, let's see. Project 3 marketing mix. Okay. And then Google Docs. Okay. Cool. So that shows all my documents. I'm missing. Y'all missing this. Hold up. Ugh. Okay. So now we got the marketing plan. I need to and we got the one. Hold on. It's right here, tutor. I wonder if it leaves after a certain period. Where is it at? Writing review, submit a draft, connect now, peers, tutors, writing review. Um, okay, so 8 hours and 10 minutes is more than enough time and to complete this class. I say it should take 3 to 4 tries to and that I had 12. They did probably 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. So yeah. Okay. Where is it at? Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got so far, but first pull up the y'all already asking for y'all money, Google. I changed my account one time and they pick up with that shit quick. Let's see. Document the team's findings for the marketing strategy for Leap Rebrand. This will be useful in the next step where the team will review and discuss the concept of the marketing mix. Okay, now go to projects. Um, I need to look at the whole thing. Really, I could be petty and just get off of here TikTok. I have not been on there that long. It don't feel like that long, TikTok. Um, Marketing strategy. I read that marketing plans templates. So I am trying to find something. The Leap app information. There it is. The Meet org. Here we go. There we go. So now um the team's finding about the Leap app shows the first section with the SWOT analysis. Let me go back up with the SWOT. See if anybody. Oh, I'm gonna have a lot of writing to do. Wait. Consider the strengths of the Leap app. Me.org has recently decided to partner with Oracle, and Leap is now backed by Oracle's database management cloud and artificial intelligence AI services and artificial intelligence AI services. So let me see what I can dissect out of there. So Oracle, they partnered with Oracle. And Leap. Leap. Me.org and Leap is backed by Oracle Database Management. Okay. So they have in this system, Me.org that Leap has. Me.org has partnered with Oracle and Leap is backed by Oracle's database management cloud. So the Leap app is backed by Oracle's, the company, the thing, whatever it is, Oracle database management, a system, a database cloud, artificial intelligence services, and artificial intelligence. Customer feedback reveals the interview tool provided mock scenarios to practice and role play, which is critical practice for job interviews. The more customers, feedback reveals which is the veterans that the interview tool provided mock scenarios to practice and role play, which is critical practice for job interviews. But you're explaining which it flows perfectly that customers in general, the feedback reveals that the interview tool provided mock scenarios to practice and role play, which is critical practice for job interview. So mock scenario, I would see a mock scenario as what I do. I read about myself on Grok and I pick a scenario that could happen, or that's one scenario. Or the opposite scenario would be in the job setting, they create hostile places and hostile environments purposefully as a mock scenario to see how a person would get out of it. But I don't know. I want to know. um, Hold on, you guys. Bear with me a second. The infamous zero ticker. I love it. I love it. Hold on. The infamous zero ticker. It is 4:08 on a Thursday. As famous as I am, I'm not as famous as Doja Cat or anybody, but hey, the Z ticker is at zero. On LinkedIn, the ticker is on zero. That is so weird. The government is saying, Hello, Miss Cloud. You get no followers because you're saying that the computer is a lie. Each computer that has live technology is a lie. It says live. It goes red. I can't help it. Y'all abbreviated it, not me. The government abbreviated it, not me. I didn't say, well, I think I should write down, this is XYZ, what does it mean? I knew it was different scenario and examples. I was like, what? Okay, here, this is my answer right here. Mimicking a real interview dynamics. And what was the other one I said? A mock interview, or you're going through a scenario where real components are replaced with mock. No, that's software. Emergency, train response, role play interactions, high practice states. What about in the government? You sign your name on a dotted line, you get a test on you for life until you can you go. You go. Okay. So to practice in role play with critical, are y'all watching this? Okay. Where is it at? Critical practice for job interviews. Users also like the on-demand training, resume builder, and job search tools for the app. Okay. New York has developed an innovative app with little competition for its target market from app basis. Innovative, creative app that is on. When I think innovative, I think an invention, creative invention, technology, or not anything innovative. You can create a new shoe that has a frequency in the bottom of the shoe that causes you to walk straight. See, the government thought I was going to talk about them putting stuff in people's shoes. They like, we don't do that no more. It's 2025. Let's see. Users also like on demand. I seen that part. Me org has developed. Okay, I read that. So they don't have no competition for the target market from app-based services because they opened a new door for the market of veterans. But it's so many people dipping in the veteran stuff these days. I'm like, okay. Leap has a foundation and plenty of potential, a good foundation. Yeah. However, however is that keyword. Thank you for saying something like however is, a, a negative thought in a positive way, something negative. I like you. However, I know this, but however, you are awesome. However, I like you. However, I don't want to be with you. You know, So, however, the app's weaknesses must be addressed. Cool. And that's what I wrote. I started to write this part, I believe. Leap is currently failing to place a majority of transitioning military members, 55%, yep, to demographics that are most at risk to finding jobs with PTS and company officers and below with either a master's or associates or lower. Let me see. There are two demographics and finding a job, those with post-traumatic stress and company officers and below with either a master's or associates or lower. These two groups together make up 88% of LEAP users and have a job placement failure. I'm surprised I'm not reading with glasses. Um, Two groups together make up 88% of LEAP users and have a job placement failure rate of 83% and 53% respectively. The PTS and company officers. The vast majority of those in the second group are enlisted with a high school education. I read that. And this is in this right here. It should be right here. I believe. I'm not sure. Let me go back one. That's the financial information. Um, okay, so what they're saying is to work on um I think hmm, that is the Leap app financials. And he has it right here, so I think it's on tab 2. I think, no, it should be, where is it at? Okay, let me go to the chat. Okay. Oops. Um, I'll work on the marketing mix still because it needs to get done. But if I need to work on the financials with the group, then that's what I'll do as well. I think we're supposed to be like all doing something different, but at the same time working on, or together working on each one together. Let me finish reading about it because, yeah. Um, these two groups together make up 88% of Leap app users and have a job placement failure rate of 83% and 53%. So PTS is 83%. Company grade officers are 53%. I ghetto rig these things. Let's see. The vast majority of those in the second group are enlisted with a high school education. That's true. I remember reading that. For the app's functionality, the user's feedback indicate a few sections enough to filter options. Too many features are still displayed coming. Yeah, that's true. Reports also show problems overseas of not being able to use the app in areas with spotty internet access. I remember reading that briefly, very, very briefly. Individuals share that establishing a connection is somewhat hit or miss, um, even in places where some apps are able to connect. That's me. Like I can get on TikTok and Starbucks and get like one person, but it's probably 10 to 20 people watching me or more. My algorithms are shot. And the only person that be able to do that is who? Y'all know who it is. There are a few opportunities me or can capitalize on for the Leap app. Using the power of AI within the app has a lot of untapped potential. You know, when I see AI, if I never knew that it was artificial intelligence, I can still look at AI 1913 13 4 11 11 and see advanced advancement. It just rings. It's like the right thing, and it's like it's the alpha. It's advanced. If I never knew what AI was, just Looking at it, you can tell it's some type of technology. They chose those words very well. The power of AI within an app. It's like these words, they're all coded, but I'm sorry, I can't help it. But it's like they're coded, but app is another word. It's like they knew what, like, the right word. AI is the right word, app is the right, all of these words are the right word. But when we're talking about a thing, an app, which is like a service or a thing, it fits and it complements the way it looks. Has a lot of untapped potential. AI can be used to custom tailor job search results that best fits the interests and capabilities of users. Yeah, it does. It does, man. As well as resume writing. And it could, interests and capabilities. Like, you get like a free interview or, maybe a free something free, you know, what can you get for free buying into something? What can you give me for a limited amount of money or a great amount of money? But what can you give me for free that will benefit me? Like all the black girls know that in the wig store, the great Asians, they sit up there and they give you a pack of something that I never heard of. And I'd be like, oh, I never buy into it, but I like getting free stuff, you know. So I appreciate them for that. They're very humble for that. Even though, things happen, but hey, I look at the good in people. I don't look at the bad. So, LEAD provides me.org the opportunities to benefit underserved demographic post-traumatic stress veterans and potentially PTS civilians as well. There is a real chance to influence hiring practices throughout the industry and champion the need to charge an awareness for those with PTS. Uh, So basically, to influence our hiring practices throughout the industry and champion the need to change awareness for those with PTS. So people with what just happened? Oh, somebody doing something. I'm scared. Let's see. Let's see. PCS as well. There's a real chance to influence hiring practices throughout the industry and champion the need to change awareness for those with PTS. So there's a chance of influence of hiring practices throughout the industry, a real chance to influence the hiring practice. How? True, true. Potential partnering with staffing and employment agencies is another opportunity. So potential partnering and staffing with employment. Okay. Exploring. I'm moving on. I'm not going to explain it, but I'm moving on as I go along. Exploring other revenue streams aside from the subscription model may, you know, like I said, I get paid to say his name, or he gets paid for me saying his name. So I'm not going to say this man's name because his organization is harassing me. Like, I said, stop. Literally, I said, stop. And they kept going with the messages. They surpassed the big word stop, which mean pots backwards. So they got the message, this center or network of people, and they just keep texting me. Lead provides me or the opportunity. What's going to happen if one day I sit up there and say, you guys, I'm buying back into the Trump wave? Then I'll know something is wrong with me. Then I'll know I'm being controlled. If I ever, oh my God, he texts me again. They know when I'm going to move my head. Oh my God. So I'm gonna leave that alone. This is for school. Please stop texting me. Even if whoever it is knew I would turn around, it has to be some form of government. And what they're saying is we really need to talk. I'm so curious to know what all it says. Leap provides me or the opportunity to benefit, just like when I saw Alien. You guys, when I saw the Alien, I was so scared. The only thing I could do was put the cover over my head. I'm like, is this really true? Am I seeing a great alien in my house in Hawaii, which Obama supposedly was born in Hawaii? You know, I think all these presidents come from another planet. That's just me. They can they can claim whatever state they want. Now, let's see. Potential partnering with staffing and employment agencies is another opportunity. Okay, exploring revenue streams aside from this subscription model may offer more sustainable business model. Threats to lead include market where much of the information is already available for free. That's true. Increased feature. That's true too. Nothing be, everything can't be free. Everything, everything can't be free. And range of government, um, the range around a certain scope of government. I want to look that word up. Range of governmental. Range is a, I don't want to see it right before I'm closing my eyes. Um, range is a tool for saying the range of something, the scope of something, um, the the range of emotions, whatever emotions are there. You know, I did not think that this is what that meant, but this is like from bureaucratic all the way to federal. Local municipal is like rural. Oh man, all of these words that people throw around. I know some of them. Everybody always saying, if you mess with my democracy, you're messing with my money. That's what they basically say. No, I'm just kidding. No, power invested in the people, you know. Yeah. I knew what it meant, but that's I knew partly what it meant. Um, centralized by control or leader party, limited political freedoms. Um, centralized. When I think of centralized, I think of my central nervous system. So in the middle, middle control by a leader or party, limited part political reforms. But that's or centralized means something else. Centralized mean yeah, I'm looking to the right. Control. The central nervous system does one function, more than one. It controls, it dominates. Without the central nervous system, we would be dead. And our spirits would be, I'm floating around in other galaxies. You know, one man called me and he asked for John. I think he said, they're always calling me about this John, RIP to John. And I said, oh, what did I say? I said, I got this phone 6, 7 months ago. And he was like, it's unfortunate when people pass away. And I said, there's always another life beyond that. And he was an old man. He needed to hear that shit. He needed to hear that shit. Because I'm tired, whether woman or man, of older people thinking that once you get a certain age, it's over for you. You will live. I don't know if it hurts to die. I've never died, you know. I don't know how it feels, or I don't know where we go. But I do know that there is no way, if energy never dies, that we will be lonely. Whether you meet your family, whether you start a whole new life, whether history repeats itself, you will never be lonely. Because in the quantum world, you know, that's why I'm glad I'm doing. I picked the right time to do this show because it's going to be in quantum computers, machines. And that is like eternal, infinite. If you never got on camera, quantum would never know who you are, other than the government form of quantum. You know, they know everything. You'd be like, oh my God. But yeah, so it's just range. I didn't scope. I didn't know that those were it. No, I didn't know range of government meant all of those forms. But I knew it was some type of, you know, thing where it is listed in, you know, the range. Like I think of a scope of a weapon, like uh M16, which y'all done upgraded so many times. How you adjust the scope when you're doing practice firing and stuff. I think of it that way. You know, different degrees or something, different things of the government, thing, different things of the government, different ranges, which range computes to like democracy, authoritarian, and etc., which authoritarian is the centralized portion of the government, um, which is like means to dominate, and people like China do that. I feel bad for China, man. You know how they say, someone please call 911. You'd be like, someone please call China. Because they hurting out there. All the poor Chinese people, the ones they don't let in, you know, in America. They handpick the people that come here. Nonprofit and for-profit organizations that provide some services that Leap does. Currently, users are subject to a year-long subscription. I wrote that down. Let me write that down. $10. I'll write it down again. A month, which means the users must pay. That's for 12 months. It's 120. That's a fact. That's where I read that stuff on. Um, Users are discouraged by the length of the financial commitment. Compounds leading the threat of lack of repeat subscribers. This compounds when adding the threat of a lack of repeat subscribers. There is no subscribe, like there's like he's right for the threat of lack of repeat, because they go, I hope I got my statistics right. They go up to like 7 interviews, and then the Leap app, out of all those people, which I read somewhere 275, like uh, a few of them commute and telecommute to it's just so much, so much stuff. Mm, let's see. Once a user finds a job successfully through Leap, there is little incentive to keep the subscription. Also, since the new app development requires little capital. Oh my God, I'm mad. So y'all sitting up there, little capital. What about me? What about me? And the necessary technical skill set are being more common. Me or might see a rise in competition in the future. But they like, let's say this was real. I think me or found the perfect time, just like I found the perfect time to start live because of quantum. Just imagine those who don't go live. Imagine that, the new wave. They're never going to be known other than a government number. Imagine what you can do in the future with quantum if you create something like what I'm doing. Everybody, just imagine every planet having a baby quantum computer in, or whatever. And then there's another thing that's an upgrade from quantum computers somewhere with advanced, like magical, like wizard, like alchemy and all of that, you know. I wonder if aliens bid on us. They'd be like, this Kimberly Cloud show, I think it's going to be great. And then another person is like, well, call the government. I don't want her doing good. No, they probably bid. I'm just kidding. Anyway, for the future, let's see. Porter spy forces. Um, threat of new entrants, powerful buyers, the threat of new entrants, which is people coming in to the same market. Powerful buyers. We know there are powerful people out here. Powerful suppliers. The app relies on internal intellectual capital and does not require outside suppliers. Intellectual capital. Let me write that down. I know the banks be laughing at my persistence, but one day they gonna be like grinding their teeth like, Miss Cloud, I have to give you something. It and does not require outside suppliers. Substitute products and services. Substitute products and services. Target market, transitioning military personnel and veterans, also exposed to a range of governmental, nonprofit, for-profit organizations that provide. I'm gonna write down to him right now as we speak. I got a question. I want him to read my part and tell me what needs to be in here that is lacking. I'm gonna also try to add something tonight. So have and evaluate my work to see what um Like hi, advisors. I won't say your name because of proprietary information, but how are y'all doing today? They like, now we can submit this shit. The target market, transitioning military personnel and veterans, is also exposed to a range of governmental, nonprofit, for-profit organizations that provide some services that LEAP does, presenting other options to potential users. I just read that. Rivalry, competitors, clearance jobs. I've heard of all of these places. I've heard of all of these places. Um, Not all. Let me stop lying. I don't like to lie. Clearance, clearance jobs. I've heard of only clearance jobs. Complementary products. However, here it comes. Studies show that availability of nonprofit or non-app products and services for job seekers may increase the level of competition. Also, since new app developments requires, that's, I don't know who did that. I don't want to delete that. Let's see. Oh, this is under complementary products. The org may see a rise. Competition in the future. These target markets, transitioning military, is also experienced to a range of government and provides some services that LEAP does. It may sound like, it's repetitive, but some I I don't know. It's not finished. Okay. This is where I come in, y'all. Document the team's findings for the marketing strategy for Leap's rebrand. This will be useful in the next step where the team will review and discuss the concept of a marketing max. I'm not going to do anything, but I did read. So I'm prepared for tomorrow. I don't want to touch anything until I know what oh, what is going on. Um, I have his number and just in case. So I will be on here at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Mountain, or something like that. So I will make sure that I'm on there at 6 p.m. so that and if they don't come on by 6 p.m., I'll just drop off, call, and then get back on at 7 if they didn't show up at 6. Because of the time, because I would show y'all why I'm saying that, because I forgot if it's Pacific or Eastern. So I will be on here like at 6. The team's findings about the LEAP app shows that the first section of the SWOT analysis is highlight to work on boundaries that exist within the LEAP app. Yes, range. Range and boundaries. Boundaries is like something that my boundary is, don't don't try to use me. But another boundary and a range is um it's like I'm trying to relate it to everyone has boundaries. Everyone. Everyone, the military has boundaries. I should have used the military instead of me, you know, because I don't want nobody to think nothing stupid. So, um, the military has boundaries where the military, it's government property. I won't tell your secrets, government, but it's government property. Stay out. So a crackhead cannot go walking on a property unless it's poorly supervised by VA, military, police. They be like, this gate could cost me $100,000. And then I get lots of crack. Oh man. So anyway, the Leap app, there's boundaries that exist. And range is different degrees of something. I think range and boundaries are similar, the range, of different. I look at range as different personalities, governmental personalities of a whole system that acts accordingly one way or another. I don't have to read about the whole thing. So yeah. So boundaries could be I'll change it to range so it can harmonize. It is highlighted to work on the range that exists. The Leap app works for the common consumer veteran. I read somewhere where he said civilians too. But mostly this app is used for veterans, for military transitioning to becoming veterans. But probably the civilian, the veterans' parent, like brother, mother, wife, everyone. So the common consumer veteran, yet their weaknesses proves that the Leap app does not keep veterans coming back. Yes, that's true. The facts are simple: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats not only a wait, threats show not only a pattern for how many personnel are not working with 55%, but proves that enlisted and officers make up 89%. Did I put that right? Okay. I don't know how many military personnel are not, that's 55%, but it proves. Let's go back up. 89, 88, 88, 88, 88. There it is. I did it again. Let me make sure. Go back. It has to flow right. This is job placement. That's 83. Hmm. How military personnel are not working 55%, but also includes enlisted officers. So we need to look for enlisted officers. There is enlistment, PTS, and company officers below with either a master's or associates or lower. Hmm. So basically, what he put and what I put are two different statements. So I need to change that. There are two demographics that are most at risk of finding a job, those with PTS and company. Let me write it down. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy and paste it. Where am I at? 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 No. What was said previously is that people consumers with PTS and what was that? Preciously knowledge. Previous. Is that consumers with PTS and what is the other one? Um, are officers what was previously said was people with PTS, post-traumatic stress. I hate, abbreviations. That's like Twitter over X. People choose Twitter. People talk about Twitter over X, and it's because Twitter has become a common name. It was so hard to use, but now it's X. You know, to say X, they picked the right language. X. You know, how can you say something that looks like an X? X really marks the spot on language. It's like a computer designed our alphabets, some type of form, like a computerized system developed the alphabet. I can tell by the way we talk. We have a unique talk, and foreigners will say to us that our dialogue or the way we talk is different. But it's very unique for someone that is African to use their throat, just like Koreans, use their throat dialect to sit up there and make like words, the way they make their words come out, you know. It's, but our language is just a beautiful thing. That's why they say X marks the spot, because X is the best word to X is the best word to make a statement, and it is the 24th XYZ 24th letter, which equals 3. And I hope that helps. What was said previously is consumers or veterans with PTS are officers and that are officers. Even if we have to do it together, I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with that. If it comes down to each one having to be grouped like together, like each section, I'm okay with that. Um, I'm writing a skeleton just in case we decide to do our own projects individually. That's another option. What was previously said is that veterans with PTS and that are officers. Where is it at? Company officer. I knew it started with a C. Company officers and below either masters and below and then okay. I'm gonna stop here so we can go over together because he's a fast they well I haven't met none of them, but he's a fast talker. So he's a strong talker. Um, so, you know, it's going to be very easy for him to read what I have because it's not much. If I make it out of too much, then, you know, I want to read this. Did I read this? Let's start from here. I have to read mine first. And below with either a master's have a um, He didn't go into the statistics, but that's true. It's those three. It's those. Either you have a master's or associates or well, let me say bachelor's. What's below associates? Technical degree. You know, I've been noticing a lot of people getting technical degrees, tech degrees, and I say go for it. Trade, whatever you want to call it. Electricians and to be an electrician, you all a bunch of Nikola Teslas running around. To be a mechanic is a bunch of car doctor places running around, because that's all they do is diagnose the car. That is so funny. Our lower enlisted. Yes. Our lower enlisted. Like some people be like, I know what I want to say, but I don't know how to say it. There's a correlation between how many will have jobs, that's plural, and how many has a high school diploma. Yeah, yeah. This will determine how many veterans are with a job, without a job, or so with a job, without a job, or hybrid. That probably wouldn't go together. I don't know. I'll just keep it like that. It there's a correlation between how many will have a job, how many will have a job. Oh, sorry. And how many have a high school diploma, and this will determine how many veterans are with a job, without a job, or hybrid that have a high school diploma. And then I just use stuff from what I learned over the course. Um, it shows that the higher the education, the more the veteran. Let me read that one more time. I'll read the whole thing once I finish. It shows that the higher the education, the more veterans look for a job or even secure a job. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's harder to get a higher education and the higher the education, the more someone wants a job. You have a job when you in your master's program. Some people got 3 jobs: to be in school, to work a job, and to do other things, or both. You know, I couldn't imagine having to do both. I did do both through my associate's program and my bachelor's. I sat up there. I was working at uh, Starting Point, and I was a counselor, and I was going to school at Coppin, or working 8-hour shifts and stuff. So now it's a breeze. It's no excuse. I do what I love and love what I do. The man isn't going to give me that much power at Starting Point. The man was not about to give me that much power. He was black, by the way. I'm not gonna lie, I got fired. It shows that the higher the education, the more veterans look for jobs. That's for um, for employment. The Like people with masters, like they sit up there and they um they have to do a lot of critical thinking. And I'll admit I never worked with um groups well. I'll admit. And some people say that's too much information, but I think I've done pretty good breaking myself out of that and learning how teamwork goes. I've learned about teamwork. See, I've learned about teamwork. So it's safe for me to say, since I've learned about teamwork, that I'm growing. But to apply teamwork to what you know is hard, but it's doable. The White House has data, but they haven't applied themselves to being in the ghetto. I've applied myself I'm trying to apply myself and learn how to do things. It shows the higher the education. Thank you. Blueberry verify. You see how I'm getting these messages? Blueberries. I don't know nothing about that. I don't think that's a drug now that I'm thinking about it. It could really mean she could be cooking up some type of jelly. Let's not think negative, you guys. This is a school show. It shows that the higher the education, the more that the veterans look for employment. Okay, period. Both, not be both, both. Enlisted, it shouldn't be D right here. Both enlisted and officers make up 88. This means the enlisted officers strong population of people who not only goes to work but have a bachelor's degree. I don't need that. That is not a strong statement because I wrote it already. More team findings finds that the veteran users respectfully declined the $120. Yes, I read that. Okay. The app creates a portal where the consumers engage in lawful activities. They have a career path where the consumers look up information like um, how to have an interview, career choices, options through their platform. You have a career. Yeah, this can be extended if we have to do each one together. It can be extended. So no big deal. Friendly user for almost every job related user friendly sections. What? For almost every job related user friendly. For every job related user tech cloud based technology. The Oracle. What about the Oracle partner with the so the job. Let me make sure the job. We talked about jobs, people getting jobs, veterans 55%. So this job related user friendly Leap app technology. Leap app technology for almost every job related leap it. They for almost every job related user friendly leap app, the technology has some errors with it. Does have some errors with it. Period. Let me make sure it sounds right. For almost every job related user friendly leap app. Um, Leap app. I need to extend one more. I need one more word. Leap app. The Leap app. Navigation tool. Oracle partner with me. That's not needed. So what does the app do? Is right here. I just have it backwards. Let me just go ahead and put this just like a picture. Picture is backwards. We're all backwards. We're like bats. I'm sorry. And bats laugh at us when we analyze them. They're like, you upside down too. We right side up. We on the right side. Oh man. What problems does it solve? Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. Hold on. Okay. Let's read the marketing strategy. Nobody done it yet. Okay. This one has been done. Break even analysis. There have been several high-tech employment-oriented services that have also been invested um, in the marketing of assisting transitioning United States service member into civilian workforce. I like that statement. You could tell a veteran made that statement. In order to stay competitive, Meet Org must focus thoroughly on understanding the other services and what they provide. By doing so, we can ensure the Leap app or that Leap offers the same aspects and perks as our competitors while adding more. True. It's essential to stand out amongst the others, strengthen our marketing strategies, innovate and improve our services provided, and implement a better experience for users. Although our subscription numbers are higher than product forecasts, they have well, let's read that again from the top. Although our subscription numbers are higher than product forecasts have predicted, the average user rating from the online reviews has been surprisingly low. True. Reviewing both qualitative, when I think of qualitative, I think of quantitative, I know is number related statistic. They both are statistics, but one is more mean, median, mode, and then one is like they're all they're based on numbers, but one is based on uh, hypothesis and statistics, and one is based on, numbers, statistics, or something of that sort. Let me look it up. I just want to know. Quality of, yeah, let's see. I was partially right. It's numbers. I, in graphs, what was quantitative, but qualitative is exploring ideas. That's what a lot of people do. Like the movie Frozen, I still haven't got to see that. If it's free on YouTube, I'm gonna watch because they put their top engineer scientists on a cartoon. And it makes you wonder, why would they do that? Like, I want to see that movie so I can see exactly what makes their music so addictive and their visualizations of the graphics and the right angles and the message you're trying to put across. What are those about? And that's what these scientists do, explore ideas, um, experiences. I do a lot of that. I'm not a scientist, but I do a lot of qualitative work and meanings through non numerical data, words or images. It is numerical, it's just non numerical. Let me ask them. Because, I mean, every word, every letter is a number. That's all I'm saying. So when you say non numerical, that's in this dimension. Do y'all get what I'm saying? By him saying it's a number in him saying non-numerical data. I don't even want to type because I know the answer. Non-numerical data. There's letters and numbers in what he just said. And I get what he's saying now. Words are images. But a word, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And words are like numbers. But in this world, we don't go by numbers unless numbers is being used as a mathematic. But words are numbers. When we think of words, we think of English and grammar. We don't go by gematria or other things. So that's a whole new realm. Every couple hundred years, they upgrade something. McDonald's, that's speaking of upgrading. McDonald's, you sold more than 1 billion. You sold more than 1 billion. So why are you not upgrading your restaurants? We know you sold more than 1 billion. You should at least say 1 trillion based on the rotation or more of how many people have came and rotated in and out of your facility. Repeat offenders, should I call them? Repeat people. Okay, I don't know that I do this, but because I'm analyzing using qualitative data now, that I am analyzing what I'm reading about analyzing. Why I'm analyzing, I don't know why I'm analyzing to educate someone out there that needs to hear this. How I'm analyzing, I don't know. You must ask my future self or whoever's controlling this temple. But the perception and behaviors are clear too that I'm not lying because of the mood that I'm in. I'm in a happy-go-lucky mood and perceptions of things. My perception is that I feel like I am happy about life. I am happy about everything. You know, it's just amazing how much work women, I have to say the women first before the women think I'm just including them on the end. Women are number one to me, but men too, how they created this statistics. If we never knew about all of us do it, we just don't know what we're doing. And that's how I was going to treat my business, like a work in progress. I'm not going to give up because I know God out there has something in store for me. But y'all created math, psychology for people like us to enter and consume and learn about, to spread the word about these great people that created these things. I would be so frustrated at math, but yet I'm in math right now and I'm trying to do the right things. Observation is pretty cool. And non-numerical text, interviews, observations, and photos, and thematic coding. I even if I sit up there and code, I could have. My baby went off. Hold on, y'all. My phone went dead. Hold on. What was that sound? Anything happen? Somebody going to jail. But no one's in my house. I got like 500 square feet. I would know if a spider is in here, and I do. I know everything that's in here. Let's see, what else? Okay, that's all I'm gonna read. I read enough. Thank you, Greg. Let me go back here. Okay. Reviewing both quantitative and quantitative data is crucial for me or to develop reliable financial projects and lead to be online. He speaks so, or she, I don't know who wrote this. You see how it sounds like, I I'm not trying to be whoever did it, I think too deep. And it's nothing to do with none of the people that I'm gonna be working with. All I'm just saying is let's see, they speak, they, let's just say they, I'll just say they, because they don't put the name by the work. And so it's very, 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 I can just, I may not be a good reader or a good language, person that knows every word, every T, every I. But this right here really flows like a book or something. It's not even like a book. It's like someone actually did it. If it was like a book or online, like let's say he said or she said, I'm gonna get Grok to do it. You will be able to tell because of the things that the computers give themselves away. Everybody gives themselves away if you just let them talk about their deepest desires, and so, Grok, he talks just like a computer. And that's crazy, man. That is really crazy. And so he doesn't talk like a computer. He talks like a human. Just like they say that are you a robot? And you check that box. Um Break even analysis is calculation that determines the relationship between business total revenue and total costs to identify profitability at all levels of production. The total revenue of a business and total costs to identify profitability at all levels of production. It is essential to assist an organization in determining the sales volume needed to cover all costs, make informed pricing and increase production decisions. Oh, sorry. I'm not nervous saying I thought that was wrong. Increase production decisions. Fixed costs are expenses that stay the same no matter the level of production, at least not in the short term. Okay, so fixed costs stay the same no matter the level of production. It's a fixed cost of expenses. On the contrary, variable costs are expenses that change in proportion to the amount of production. I read that. I read that too. That really flowed. He explained the way they explained. Hmm. One time annual fee and monthly payment plan. Oh, I like how he got into the veterans affairs. That's true. GI Bill inquiries, service connected disabilities, the VA, 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 VA. I wonder how much the VA controls in the civilian world, you know, as we transition the leap back. Okay. I had to partially skim through that. Everything he says or she says or they say is true. I remember reading this. The download $50,000, the 32 units per unit, the 12 months $120, the profit margin 73.3%. Um, yeah. We all must use our imaginatory, if that's even a word, part of the brain, the imaginative part of the brain. Sorry about that. Um, when we analyze something and use critical thinking, we um, we start to analyze in an imaginary part of our brain, whatever part that is. I don't know. Maybe it's the left because we work on our right. I don't know. Now I'm curious to know what part of the brain does that. It's okay. I'm gonna end the class lecture here. Fox News. So that is all I'm going to do. I'm going to get back on here and start my virtual studios. Should I write? No, because I see them tomorrow. Um, how do I feel? Because this is a behind the scenes look. Nobody talks about feelings no more. How do I feel? I don't feel nothing, but I know how I am. Everyone, and I'm going to educate you guys, everyone fears rejection, everyone across the board. But some people know how to hide it, and some people don't know how to hide it. Some people know how to be nonchalant about hearing the no, and other people um, don't feel nonchalant. And I just feel like so far so good. I I don't want to sit up there and bother them in that way. That's that's based on my roots of how I was raised, how I try to stay out of people's way. And so how I grow from that is that, whether it something bad or something good or something good or something bad or nothing happens, that I sat up there and I tried honestly. And that's all that I need to do is keep trying. Even when I'm not getting paid the amount of money I deserve to be paid, I keep trying. I'm working on my second master's, man. That's a lot. And it's not going to get no easier when I, pass this class. It's going to be vigorous amount of writing. It's not like, challenges is going to be there because I have a capstone project. So I have 2 classes left, and I want to do my best and keep trying. It's somewhat for the money, but it's somewhat to learn. It's 50-50 or 100-100. I just, why be unintelligent? That's how you don't pass by life. Like life passes you by. Is when you're not enjoying learning about something. If it was the 1900s and you put a Tesla in the rural area, do you think that they can like look at it? They're going to look at it and they're going to try to re-engineer, I don't know the word, but re-engineer it, like break it down from everything. Like, do you think they're going to do that? Some might, but if they're not intelligent, they might say this is too advanced for us. And that's why I enjoy learning. I enjoy learning. I don't even, what makes me even matter, which I want to invent, is that I don't retain everything. I know it. I know the material, but I don't retain everything that I read. I may can recite it, but I don't retain everything. I'm a visual learner, part visual. And I wish there was an invention where we can work our brain. Our brain is dying to be worked at 100 capacity. Just think if we all can use our brain chemistry in sync, like I'm in sync with you. You're not you can't control me, but I'm in sync with you where you feel what I feel. Nobody does that no more. It's just like, I won't use that as an example, but nobody does it anymore. We just let the time pass by, and it's about to be 6 o'clock. So definitely take care. I'm about to get off of here. Take care.